The proclamation.
Maybe it's right underneath that.
It's under the minutes.
Almost.
Okay.
There.
Thank you, sir.
You're not. Are you not green? I need to like check those once a week.
Hell, you been down there. I hope I didn't use a dead one. You were just hoping you were going to get to
Nah.
hand yours off. By Mr. Manning's standing, it tells me it's 9 o'clock and time to get started. So, Mr. Manning?
And then this old man told me to be sure and pray real good.
Okay.
So I got my orders already.
All right, you do that.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for your many blessings. We thank you for today, and we thank you for the prosperity and the health that you've given each and every one of us. We thank you for what you're doing here with our county. And Lord God, I ask you now to be with the judge and the magistrates and all those that will help with decision making this morning, that they'll make the decision that will be for the betterment of all those who are within Union County. We ask all this in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Manning, thank you. Now, if you start hugging and kissing everybody on the way out of here, we'll never get started. Oh, I know you do. I know you do. Have a good day, Mr. Manning. It's good to see everybody this morning. This is one of my favorite days. As you can probably already figured out, my sweet mother's in the crowd this morning, and along with her, a lot of her friends and relatives that she does life with now. And so we're gonna switch our meeting around just a little bit. We're gonna go to our item number 2 to start with. And so this is National Assisted Living Week, and we are blessed in Union County to have facilities that help us in that endeavor and help our senior citizens, but our experienced citizens, maybe I should put it that way, fulfill their lives in a good way. And so I want to start with reading this, and we'll go from there. 2019 National Assisted Living Week Proclamation. Whereas residents of assisted living communities are active members of the larger community, offering their knowledge, life experiences, and involvement, their past contributions continue to be a vital part of Union County's rich history, and their ongoing participation deepens our county's identity. Whereas assisted living is a critical long-term care service for older adults and individuals with disabilities that fosters choice, dignity, and independence. Assisted living communities are committed to excellence, innovation, and the advancement of personal-centered care. Whereas in 1995, the National Center for Assisted Living established National Assisted Living Week to honor the contributions of assisted living communities in providing long-term care to America's seniors and individuals with disabilities. Whereas this year's theme of National Assisted Living Week is Capture the Moment, which hopes to inspire assisted living residents to enjoy the present while celebrating the past. Whereas Capture the Moment is also meant to encourage assisted living staff to focus on the little everyday interactions with residents to continue delivering high-quality, person-centered care. Whereas during this special week, assisted living communities across the country are encouraged to organize activities and events which celebrates the deep connections between the dedicated staff members and their residents. Now, therefore, I, Adam Onan, Union County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim the week of September 9th through 14th, 2019 as Assisted Living Week in Union County. I urge all citizens to volunteer in an assisted living community, to visit friends and loved ones who reside at these communities, and learn more about how assisted living services benefit Union County. I would entertain that in the form of a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion?
Great to have you here today. Yes. Being here. Good to see you.
Okay, I'll get back to it. it is good to have everybody.
Looking around and looking at all these distinguished folks, dealt with many of them and for years and years, and what they've meant to this community is we can probably never repay them. Wish them all the best in their coming years. I see many of them when I do ministry out at Break Service, and but I always appreciate you go in there and you see all these people that have meant so much in your lives, and you dealt with them and their husbands or their wives, and it's I'm very appreciative of what y'all have contributed to Union County, so I want to thank you personally for what you've done.
Like what Joe said, what y'all meant to the community and what you still mean to the community, but to capture the moment, if we all could just live by that instead of just, damn, you know, if everybody could live by and capture the moment, instead of looking at all the negative and all the bad stuff, I mean, we all need to just live what it's for and capture the moment's it.
Good.
That assisted living program out there, it's a true blessing, and what y'all done for the community is just beyond. I want to thank you all.
Anybody else?
And thanks for keeping Adam in line too.
Still work to be done.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of work to be done.
Well, yeah, which will,
Appreciate it getting to this point.
that work needs to be done, which would explain why I jumped right over minutes and went right to hers. So we'll get back to that. That's my fault. But yeah, I just want to point out also that while we do have tremendous assets in our experienced folks that live out at Breckenridge and here at Morganfield as well, it takes a staff to help run that. And so just want to say, just from my personal experience with my dad when he was out there, and mom as well, you guys are family, and you quickly become family to these folks. And so we're appreciative of the staff that works out there at the various facilities, and those that have invested in our community to make these places happen. So just want to thank all those folks that are responsible for that too, and so it's good to have y'all this morning. So we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor of this proclamation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Do what?
You'll happily sign.
I happily signed that. I signed that right there, so it's ready to go. We have quite a long agenda today, and so I'm going to give you the opportunity if you want to leave and take a picture now. It's up to the staff who wants to stay, but we've got quite a bit to do. If y'all want to leave, we'll go on and get our picture taken out of the way, and then we'll. Is that what you want to do? Okay. We'll how about right out in the hall?
You know what you could do?
What's that?
You all could leave these people seated and you could come down here behind them and I can make
All right.
That works.
That's why you get paid the big money, Miss Regina. That's
Oh,
good.
yeah, I get big bucks, I really do. And if you all can.
So am I. Both of them.
Cleared the room. That might just be easier for them.
Yeah, sure.
Joe, thank you.
Thank you for your service to our country and the military. Thank you.
Okay, the four ladies in the second row, I'm not going to be able to see very well. So unless you can move, either stand or move where you're gapped between these other people. So Adam, if you can help this lady move this way, Miss Jean. And then the lady in the yellow, move that way.
How about that?
That'll be fine.
One more time?
You stay, Fred.
One more time.
There we go. How about that?
That'll work. Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And that way I think we can see everybody, and if you'll sit, you just go ahead and sit. 1, 2, 3. That'll work. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone will want to go. And you're probably the only one who wants to stay, trust me. That's all right. You need a hand, Mr. Fred?
No,
Good seeing you.
over the football.
Watch it chip, just kind of burrowed out and eased out.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Kinda got a rough spot on it.
Yeah, it's got a bottom side. Right out. Mr. Walker take anywhere. Well, you got
1906. Good deal.
Alright. They're not, man. Mom got her. I got a bottle. Dad's got her struggling with it. All the games. We're gonna try something new today. It's not gonna look all. I don't know if it's looking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, again, a steak?
Yeah, it's a bottle. He's got a whole record. On the law. You know, and of course, now he constables on that team. I don't know, but somebody.
Right, yeah.
I'd give it.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you. I can't wait to go for this stuff.
I cleaned a little out of my garage, and my wife said, "Oh man, I haven't seen this part of the garage in 4 months." My uncle came in from Charlotte.
Dang gone. Huh? No, I done that.
They're leaving this morning.
It's hard to believe. Sweet little lady.
Have anything to do with me?
I was saying the same thing.
He wasn't gonna say it out loud.
Yeah, you and everybody in here.
It skips a generation, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe two. Maybe two. All right, we'll go back to the beginning before I got excited.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Good job.
So I assume everybody's had an opportunity to look over the minutes. That's my mistake. My apologies. Are there any additions or corrections? If none, those will be approved. As read. Thank you. All right, now we'll get back on schedule. We'll go to the open bids for the air packs, and we have one. Is that correct, Crystal?
Yes.
Okay. This is from Fire Department Service Agency or Supply out of Louisville, Kentucky. We have a representative today. Ronnie is here with us somewhere in the back there. I will add, I think at the last meeting I told you that Congressman Comer's office was going to try to reach out as far as our grant availability went. And so Congressman Comer scheduled a conference call with the head of the FEMA Awards Division. And so this award was supposed to be done in February. It got pushed because of the shutdown. Then they changed the programs about the metrics that they use. And then they changed another thing or two, and it's not going to come out at the earliest of September, end of September, the 30th, and we need to be moving now. My reasoning for asking him to call was if he could get any kind of a feel whether we were going to be awarded that grant. And so, because if we go on and pay for these with cold severance money or whatever monies we may choose to use, then we would not be eligible. And I was asking for somewhat of a waiver because this is not our error. We had all of our stuff in when it was due to be in time, and we've been pushed back, and we've been pushed back. And so I hated to give that money away, but still the ultimate, where the ultimate end of the road lies is with the safety of our first responders. And so when I contacted FEMA on my own, and his response was, we have first responders all over the country using expired equipment, I thought, I probably need to get somebody with more behind their name than judge executive involved in this. And so Congressman Comer was gracious to do that, and when, at the end of the conversation, it was stated that if they have other funds to purchase these air packs, they should be doing so, which is code word for me saying we're not gonna get that grant anyway. So that's kind of what I was wanting to flesh out, if we'd have got a little bit ahead and then found out we had gotten this grant, that would have been troublesome. So I think we're safe to say now that we're not gonna get that grant, so we're gonna move forward with coal severance money, of which I've talked to both of our Senator Mills and Representative Miles. They're fully on board with this. We'll get those letters of concurrence right away, and so we'll do that. So that being said, we have this one bid, Union County SCBA bid September 10, 2019, on behalf of Fire Department Services Supply Company. I'd like to thank Union County Fiscal Court for the opportunity to bid on your future SCBA purchase. Opposed, you will find our quote along with important warranty information. Feel free to give me a call with any questions you may have. Ronnie Bishop, Sales. So it's good to have you today, Ronnie. Thank you for coming down and being with us. Do what? Yeah, this is kind of an addendum on the extra tanks we ordered. I'll explain that. So the first quotation here is for 36 of the cylinders, of which we had requested, and 5 rechargeable battery charging station. It includes delivery, setup, and training, includes fit testing for all departments, for a total of $243,575. Ronnie, what's the useful life on these?
The cylinder is 15 years, the SCBA's are 25 years.
Okay.
Could you repeat
Let me
that?
repeat that. $243,575. Do what? A cylinder will last, is certified for 15 years, and the SCBA's, the other parts are.
Harness, and that 36 total is complete system. That's comes with a mask, the cylinder and the backpack
Okay.
frame.
Ready to go.
And also, it comes with a spare cylinder too at no charge. So you get 72 cylinders total. And if you notice on the other page, Mr. Pearson told me originally that you all maybe would want to get 10 extra cylinders for your hazmat truck. So I listed that as a separate item if you decide to do that. If not, it doesn't matter either way.
Let me ask some of our local experts in here. Will we need those extra 10 if we have an extra per unit, Chief?
How do you work that now, Josh, on the county?
As long as we have the extra cylinders and extra packs, I think we need an extra cylinder for every pack, I think.
Wouldn't need those 10 right now.
The purpose behind that was with not enough with the cascade system that the county just bought. That was the idea of it, was to have the 10 already charged on that trailer ready to go.
But we'll have an,
72, I
but we're actually going to have, Master Wyatt, you agree?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So, and I'll read this other quote, since you went to the trouble of doing it. I'll put it out there on the record where we'll have it. But so we have $243,575. May I ask, what's the delivery time? We're crunch time.
Yes, sir. Along the lines of what you were talking about earlier with your grant, it's probably gonna be at least 6 weeks before I'll actually have them, depending on when I place the order. So if your all's grant actually comes through between now and then, I mean, you'll still be able to use the grant funds to pay for that. So
I don't think we can. I guess what I'm trying to ask you, is there any way that we can rush this
yes, sir. I can't.
without us paying any more?
Definitely, you won't have to pay any more. I can put it in as an emergency purchase, but I know you do have some cylinders that are expiring within a couple of weeks from today.
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them, okay.
All of them.
I'll put that in as an emergency purchase. That may speed it up 2 to 3 weeks, but I can't, please don't hold me to that, because I don't know for sure until I place the order, and, I'll explain to them the situation, and like I said, we can get it pushed up some, yes, sir.
Okay.
And I will make it a priority. You all will be number one. I've got 9 other orders that I will move you all to the top
What is the warranty,
The
action?
warranty for the SCBA is 15 years, and that's top to bottom, head to toe. That's everything on the SCBA, including the battery. The batteries are rechargeable. Now, there was something that I added to that, that you did not have on the bid, which you didn't know, is the charging stations for the batteries. The batteries are rechargeable now, so you'll never have to purchase a battery again for the life of the SCBA. The batteries are covered for 15 years also, along with the chargers. And again, it's everything head to toe, it's covered under warranty.
And I had that in the total, just for transparency, I'll break that back out. The 36 units were $241,200. It's $241,200, and that rechargeable battery station that you listed is $2,375.
But that's included in that total.
Yes, the
sir.
total that I gave you of $243,575 is turnkey total,
Yes, sir.
front to back.
And I added 5 because I did not know, I knew there was 5 or maybe 6 departments other than the 3 that we already take care of now. So I didn't know for sure if 5 was enough or not.
Well, we have the 5, they're $475 apiece.
Five will be in charge of the charging station, right?
They should have, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Five is good.
Okay, good deal.
Okay, so 5, and they're $475 apiece, so we could always back up if we needed to on those.
Judge, I will add that the city of Morganfield uses that airbag that we bought from Rogers. We've got 19 of them in it. Yes, sir. 19 of them. We had a problem with all their expert company to work with.
Will this make pretty much everybody,
Everybody in Union County will have the exact same.
so which
Everybody will be compatible with each other.
Yep.
which, from what I'm hearing, and we can let Rick expand on that, that's important to the folks that are out there, that they would like for these to be compatible, where we're not trying to monkey with stuff, trying to put it
Yeah.
together.
We go assist each other, we've all got the same thing, and we can roll.
You know, Judge, usually we take this under advisement, but with the emergency time, and time is crucial, I'm gonna make a motion, we make the purchase of the 36 and the 5 rechargeables stations.
And let me make this clear, for $243,575.
243.
Of which will be coal severance funds used. This is another one of those slam dunk, great projects for coal severance. That's what it's for, what it was always designed for, and we will get that process moving. Sounds like we'll have that ready in plenty of time for the, any discussion from the other
Yes,
folks?
yes. On the warranty, it will be written out for us. We'll have,
Included a copy of
it's
that,
in there.
the bid,
Okay.
But everything's covered. From now on, the only thing you really need to put in your budget for SCBA maintenance is just doing the testing every year, and we take care of that. So, unless something unforeseen happens, like if a mast gets run over by a fire truck or something like that, that's something that I can't cover under warranty, but everything else is taken care of.
The testing, is there a fee with the
Yes, sir.
testing?
It's a $90 per SCBA, but that covers everything. It's any kind of adjustment, there's no other fees, it's a flat fee. Other companies charge you fuel surcharges, they charge you for every time you turn a screwdriver. Ours is a flat fee, no matter what, everything's covered, and that's been that same price for 20 years.
And this testing is mandated, that
Yes,
we
sir.
have to do that every year?
Yes, sir, it's NFPA.
You know, people often say y'all need more than one bid, but when you only get one bid, what do you do?
Yeah.
I mean,
We
you
put it
can't
out there, we advertise.
advertise it.
And
We-
for the record, this was fairly close to what we thought when we did some figuring early on. This is fairly close to what we, probably within maybe some inflation at this point.
With that motion, with the emergency, we know we gotta do it today, but is that something that you feel confident everything's in there just like it should be?
Yes, I think what I like to do is I'll get a couple of the guys that after the meeting, we'll go through and make sure the specifications, obviously, we feel confident that they are. We've had,
We've dealt with them before, they're legit company, I'm telling you.
yeah, that's not a bad idea. Do you want to, would you all like to step in my office and go over these specs, Chief
That
and
spec is
Greg?
exact what Sturgis and the rest of them have.
Okay.
SCBA's and Morganfield and, they all three have that exact spec, so they would be the exact same. But
Let's let Greg and Chief and anybody that's interested in these, our first wanted to step into my office, look over these real quick. We'll get back to that motion in just a minute. I'll give you this information. I think it's all there together. And we'll wait for you all to come back and give us the go-ahead just to, yeah, make sure we're good. We wanna do the right thing here. All right, we'll come back to that. Item number 3, January 1st through the 6th, 2019, excess fees from County Clerk Trey Peak. I asked Garrick, our current clerk, to come in, and this is something that we have to do per audit to accept those funds. And Garrick, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Just as a reminder, my first day in office was January the 7th, so this is still officially when Trey was still in office. This account has been closed out. This money has been audited. The excess fees, I believe a check has already been written to Alyssa, to the board as well, was for $6,650.93. $6,650.93.
Okay.
And everything on the audit was kosher and everything.
As far as I know.
Yeah. This was per audit, and so everything was kosher. That's the way that works, and that's why this is customary to wait till an audit is done. And so we rely on the auditors to tell us what that needs to be for those few days. They go look back over the records, and they pretty much figure that for us. So I need that in the form of a motion to
So move.
accept that report.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Garrett, for coming in. Next on the agenda, item number 4, 2019 tax rate for the County Extension Board. I have asked Clay Wells, our PVA, to come in today because Clay has good news for us. And this is a lot of work that Clay and I have done, and I will say mostly Clay has led this charge. And so you noticed at our last month, the library lowered their tax to use some of their surplus. And so Clay has worked. I guess you are the chairman of the Extension Board. Is that the way that works?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so several of them had kind of come up with this too, that they wanted to lower those rates to spend some of the reserves. And so would you like to say anything, Clay?
Sure. First off, I've kind of had this on my mind for a while, and it's not saying anything negative against the boards at these tax rates. I just felt like maybe some of the board members didn't fully understand all their options. You know, they're handed a piece of paper that basically, people in fiscal board and support, it's got a compensating rate and 4% increase. And maybe, I felt maybe some of them didn't understand what all their options were as far as setting it. So, and I'll brag on the judge a little bit. I've had this on my mind for a while of working with the taxing districts to, take a closer look at their budgets and maybe tighten things up a little bit. And the judge said to me one day in the hallway, and I said, I've been thinking about this for a while. So he was a lot of help with getting meetings and supporting me and going in without going in by myself. I went in with all the taxing districts together and talking to the districts about, possibly tightening things up, making these tax rates as low as we can get them for the taxpayers in East County. Like I said, I think last year the extension was 4.1, I believe, and with the excess funds that they have, they decided to lower to 2.5. So yeah, it's a nice decrease, and they're gonna they're gonna use up some of their excess funds, and I think the judge I don't want to steal your thunder a little bit. Time may come where those excess funds dry up, and when that time comes, that rate may start climbing again, but right now, they've elected to lower their rate.
There's no better place for tax dollars than their own pocket. And so I have committed, part of this conversation was that we would have an honest conversation about our finances. And so when we have built these reserves, it does nobody any good to keep building them when we don't really have a necessary plan for those. And so they have been, I was really encouraged when we got these rates back. But I also committed to them, and I think we had this conversation when the health department, or the special taxing district with the regional health department, they had to go up this year. That's because they have spent down their reserves. So we've actually seen this from both ends, and I'm committed to helping with that as well. And I gave them my word that when the time came, if they had to do that, then I would explain why. And that's because they have cut their rates. Sometimes we forget from year to year the actions that we take. And so I just want to commend all those that were able to cut those rates on behalf of the taxpayers. And so, Clay, thank you for your help and your partnership in this. It was a treat to get to work with you, and Clay knows his stuff, and so I'm thankful for his backing and his help in that as well. So I'll present these rates, and then in hindsight, I'll give you last year's too, so you know. Union County Extension Board submitted the following tax rates for 2019. Real property of 2.5, personal property of 2.5, motor vehicle of 1.6. And so just in comparison to last year, real property was 4.1, personal property was 5.05, and motor vehicles 1.6. So they stayed the same on one, significantly reduced the rates in two others. And I'm assuming I could get a motion to accept that.
I'll make a motion to accept the county extension board rate.
Second.
All motion been made and second. Is there any discussion?
Clay, I want to thank you for your leadership and your board for going this route. And I think it's certainly appropriate and timely on the heels of that expansion, because I have heard from citizens, and I think this is going to be well received, questioning that expansion. So it's real positive. Citizens will be appreciative.
Yes, sir. And I guess one more thing I left out, besides the extension board, is giving kudos to the library as well as the fiscal court, for keeping your rates the same. I know the court's done that for a long time, and that, that really helps out the taxpayers in Union County. So appreciate everything you guys do and fighting your budget.
Thank you. People are taxed out.
They are.
I mean, they are. I mean, you got people on fixed income, their check's not going up, but everything else is, and this will be good news for them.
I hope.
Good. Thank you, Greg.
Mr. Gene, you don't put this in the paper, but I'm really hoping that, with the Highland project that is potentially planned to hit this county next year, maybe we'll see that tax rate do what it did from Riverview open, and maybe level out, maybe even, I hate to even say it, dip down a little bit. So, let's not be, I don't want to be too optimistic, but, hopefully we'll see some better times in tax rates, because, and I don't want to take up too much time, but, that's one thing they're seeing in Eastern Kentucky is the coal mines have shut down, is the local property tax rates have just gone, insane. I know y'all probably see it in your meetings, with other magistrates and judges across the state, and, we just need to do everything we can to hold this tax rate down, and when a day like that does potentially hit this county, maybe we've done everything we can to shield our citizens as much as we can.
Anybody else?
Clay, I noticed the judge said you're the chairman of the extension board. Is that because your position is PBA, or that's an elected position?
Something totally different.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't.
He does that for the high salary out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks so well. No, just, I guess because of my, growing up in 4-H and my knowledge of it, just being a
Okay.
private citizen to serve on that board. And I guess I've been on it for 2 terms. First term, just as a board member, and the second term, they asked me to serve as chairman. So.
Looks very appropriate, because you're seeing, you're in that office, you're paying taxes, you're on that board, that you kind of see it from all different angles, so it's very appropriate. Appreciate your service on that, because not everybody wants to be on a board of any kind, so thanks, Clay.
Clay does a good job. Thank you again, Clay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Let's jump back up to number 1. Men, we're good on everything. So we've had our resident experts look at that. Thank you for that, what you do. So we just have to have a vote. We've had a motion and a second. You have something else to add to it?
Yes, so y'all are okay without the extra $10, correct? Okay.
Okay,
And also, talking with our county attorney, I will abstain from voting.
okay.
I don't have a second, so who seconded?
I did.
Okay.
I thought we had one, so,
Okay.
yeah. All right, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. So, do you need me to sign anything today?
Handshake's good, I'll get it on order today, and I will get it.
And you'll keep us apprised of where that is and how that lies, so I know we've got a bunch of anxious first responders, so we want, yeah, thank you. And to whatever extent that I owe an apology to the first responders, on behalf of the court, that we've gotten this late, I just didn't know how else to handle it, so we're working, as fast as we can, trying to catch up, so, we've just working with the cards that we've got, and so, we'll just trust that all things good are going to happen. So we're going to trust that they're going to be in, and Ronnie's even going to be surprised how quick they come in. So that's what.
You're fighting two battles.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard coordinating.
Sometimes they don't, but.
Yeah.
a lot of times they
Hey, and if a call from me will help or anything, you let me know who to call. I don't know that it would, but I can beg as good as anybody. So be glad to do that.
Well, thank you all very much then.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to excuse you to go out and get that order. You can use my computer in my office if you'd like. Thank you. Item number 5, award bid for the 2020 heavy-duty dump truck. I'm assuming you guys looked at that. We took that under advisement last week. I have that amount again. I'll read that. It's for $151,250. $151,250. I talked to Matt a little bit after the court meeting. Joe, I think you, as you did this time, it is concerning sometimes when we only get one bid. The way this bid is specifically done, it's done as a project that is already together, the bed, everything, and that makes it a little more difficult. Not everybody has those on the lots in the way that we like them, so that kind of limits our pond that we can fish in. So if we want to rethink that and back up and try to do that in a different manner next year, of trying to buy the bed and chassis and then the bed or the chassis and then the bed and the installation and all that, it could get kind of hairy. But that's the only way we're going to get probably more bids. But as far as in relation to last year, I think this was about $2,000 higher, which in terms of inflation is not much for a Mack truck. And it's, those things, I know last year, and I think this year is the same, every Mack truck that could be built is going to be built and probably already sold. So they can't make them fast enough.
Which helps us in the resale.
Which helps us in the resale. So we will expect to, he keeps telling me not every year you're going to make money on this deal, but until we don't, we're going to keep enjoying it. So it's good, and the road department takes great care of it. I think they've already picked up ours, or
We delivered it,
last week, and it's headed south to the auction. That's next week. The auction. I think it's next week is the auction, so we'll have that, and the trade-off will be just right for this. So I need a motion to accept this bid.
I move we purchase the 2020 heavy-duty dump truck for $151,250.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
So far, it's been working good, this program. Plus, you have a new truck there basically anytime you want, and then we sell it and make money, and it's a win-win.
Win-win.
Yeah, so far, so good.
Some people may be wondering how we do this deal, and it's because we're exempt from the federal excise taxes when we buy this truck, and so it makes it significantly cheaper for us to buy than if just Joe wanted to get in the trucking business and he went out to buy one, it would cost him a lot more money. So that's one way we get.
And it's got the, state warranty.
Yeah, so we're virtually, other than maintenance, there'll be no expenses on this.
I mean, when they fill it, they fill it with,
Oh, yeah.
that they can't purchase on the.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's correct. I had forgotten that. Thank you for bringing that up. That's good. Okay, we got a motion. Do we
need to
vote?
vote.
We need a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Number 6, discretionary funds, resolution and agreement. This is a resolution adopting and approving the execution of memorandum of agreement between the Union County Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Highways, for the amount of $501,300 to replace the bridge on Bunger Road and resurface various county roads in Union County. Be it resolved by the Union County Fiscal Court that the Fiscal Court does hereby ratify and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements contained in said agreement, and does hereby accept the funds provided in said agreement, and by such acceptance agrees to all the terms and conditions therein stated. Judge Executive of the county is hereby authorized and directed to sign said agreement as set forth on behalf of the Fiscal Court of Union County, and the Fiscal Court Clerk of Union County is hereby authorized and directed to certify thereto. So I need a motion to accept this resolution. This, thinking back, this is for our $501,000 discretionary fund that came from the governor's office, and so this will be a big help to some roads and particularly an unsafe bridge that we have.
I move the fiscal court accept the discretionary fund resolution and authorize the judge to execute the agreement.
Thank you. Is there a second? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 7, county attorney surplus property.
I had two changes that I'm requesting for number 1 and 10 on the hard drive. No, not the first one, this is, hard drive, so they have, information on it.
Okay.
So I am requesting, again, unless you have a better option, to personally destroy that myself, so that it is.
Okay.
So I want that information.
I think that's wise. Okay.
Do you need a motion on that?
I think we can probably, you're wanting to dispose of all this equipment through the recycling program, the county road department, correct? Except for 1 and 10, and 1 and 10 will be destroyed by you personally. Okay, so we can make that, is that like a sledgehammer? Okay, okay. Okay, so, okay, you'll take care of that. So we can include that in the motion that she's gonna handle, item 1 and 10. The rest will be recycled through our local recycling program.
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Is there a second?
Second, yes.
Any further discussion?
There's probably no monetary value of selling these or anything, is there, counselor?
There is, I don't know what it is, 'cause I don't
Okay.
know anything. I think we tried to give it away, and then nobody would take them. You know of anyone?
Yeah, I don't, so.
Whatever y'all wanted to try.
Okay.
We have, 2 or 3 options.
No, ma'am. No, that's all right. We're good. We're good. Thank you for the offer, though. We
We got enough.
appreciate that.
Recycle sounds like a
looks
better
good.
option.
Yeah, who should support the recycling center of Union County more than fiscal court? So that's what we'll.
And the
try to do.
county attorney.
Yeah, there you go. Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. You'll find the treasurer's report, the 2019 treasurer's report. Alyssa is at a doctor's appointment today, and she's on her way to a conference, and so she assured me that everything balanced and is good shape. Would entertain a motion to approve pending audit.
I'll make a motion, we approve the August 2019 treasury report pending state audit.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Claims. I was in Frankfurt, which I'll go into detail yesterday, so I did mine Friday afternoon last thing. Jerry, you were in, and
I did mine a little early, but I was here.
Master
yesterday.
Burns
Did
and,
mine a little late.
okay. So, I'm assuming everything was good. We had some signatures that we had to get, but all that was done and,
Couple minor things we're getting corrected with, stuff.
okay. All right. Are there any, claims that, do not need to be paid?
Just on the truck, I think Crystal explained to me the one at Moffett Lake, that's the one with the lift on the back, the old Dodge truck we've had for years and years.
That the one that Alan worked on, correct?
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct.
Okay,
Got
so
the
we,
lift gate on the back.
Yeah.
all right, so we still use it at Moffett then?
Well, we haven't for the last 3 years, but we're fixing
Because
to.
of that. Okay, okay, good deal.
We're preparing to, and I'm assuming it's already being used, so. Since there are no claims that don't need to be paid, let the record show that all claims will be paid. Transfers. Transfers, we'll just see that, just a transfer, jail transfer.
I move we approve the transfers so we can pay the bills.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Just a couple things just to keep people, keep this on folks' horizon, so to speak. I'm also going to call on Melissa. I'll give you just a minute to be thinking about the census. Kind of caught you cold here, but I'll ramble on for a minute or two. So when we were at the local issues conference a couple weeks ago, Joanna and from Grad and myself and Mark from Strand Engineering and Joe from Strand Engineering met with a lady from the chamber office in Atlanta. And so she kind of advised us a different approach to take with the first phase of the Job Corps. What Morganfield is facing is about a $24 to $27 million project with the sewer system that they deal with. And I know Master Clemens probably knows more information than I do. I mean, Master Wyatt knows more information than I do with his past experience on the council at Morganfield. But the first phase of this has got to be that we fix the Job Corps issue, where the Job Corps was designed for about 50,000 to be running through that sewer system, and at current we have about 1,200. And so that when sewer systems aren't designed to the capacity, they fail. They deteriorate and rot. So what we have found out there are pipes and that have completely disintegrated, where we just have caverns. We have a lot of runoff that gets into Morganfield's wastewater treatment plant, and so we have been working. I know Greg has worked with FEMA and Mike. We're trying to find some angles to get some money through FEMA, and we have got this set up. If next disaster may be of help to us if we do that. But for the time being, she's encouraged us to apply for a grant that would come through the Commerce Department, and she assures us that she thinks we could get that grant, and that would help us get started a year earlier, basically maybe in 2020 instead of 2021. And the reason we have to start at Job Corps, all the industrial park, the factories, City of Morganfield, all run through the Job Corps property. And in order for us to, or for Morganfield to resize their system after moving forward on the second phase, we have to figure out what the size is at Job Corps first. So we're still working with Mayor Greenwell. He's been really proactive, and he's a lot like I am. He'll ask anybody for anything, and so that's good that we're trying to shake more trees and get more money where the taxpayers aren't on the hook for all of that. I know Morganfield has gone through a rate increase with their sewer system here recently, but we're trying to avoid another one right on the heels of that to have to do debt service. So we're going for all grants on this first phase, and hopefully that will happen. Road work continues out on Highway 60. You'll notice that they're building that up as we go. The dredging project down at Uniontown, we met with the FEMA folks the other day, and they are very optimistic about how that's going to go, maybe for the whole thing, and then we're set up nicely to do some mitigation to help with that long term. Yesterday I went to Frankfurt to talk jails and to try to figure out what we do with the jail situation. And I have said this before, and I want to say this again to the court. This is not a jailer elder issue. This is a small jail in rural Kentucky that is outdated and is expensive to run. And so I got some insight from them. I think the basic insight that I got most was that they didn't advise us to do anything for about 6 months to try to figure out what the next budget bill looks like, what the next set of laws look like coming out of Frankfurt. And I think they are uncomfortable with the amount of state inmates that are in county jails as well. And that's how many jails are funded, by the state inmates, because they pay more. And so that's been a big help. Sean has done a good job with that in Union County, keeping county jails. And if they take those state prisoners away, then we're going to lose that money, which puts more of the burden on the back of the court to pay that. Also, there is some serious talk about some justice reform where Class D felonies would be the amount of money, and County Attorney Wallace may know more about this than I do. They're talking about raising that, where a lot of what we have are Class D felonies now would not be, which would make them all county employees instead of, or county prisoners instead of state prisoners. And that can have a negative impact on the counties, because then we're back down to the county rate. My good friend Judge Henry over in Webster County always says there's not anybody in his jail that's broke a county law. Every one of them's broken a state law. And so, but we still get paid on the county per diem, and that is tough to manage a jail on that amount. The medical costs are out, just out of this world. And so we're continuing, Jerry and I have talked about this a lot, and as well as Magistrate White, about how do we get a hold of this situation, and what do we do? And so continue to look for answers there, and I figured that was the best way to get those answers was to the top. So I was at Secretary Tilley's office yesterday of the Justice Cabinet, and that's who we met with yesterday, and a local facilitator that's there as well. And so it was good. It was good talk. We visited about an hour and drove straight home. So anyway, I think we got some answers to kind of tread water for a bit, which is not the best answer. I'd rather us be doing something, but until we can get some kind of assurance about where we're going, there's no reason to get started. And I'll yield. I know, Jerry, we've had this conversation, and
A lot.
yeah.
And I was looking for something through some of our past minutes, like in 2003, 2004, 2005. These same discussions were had. Joe can tell you, and the assurances are not usually there, but I mean, we're just trying to fill out the best way to handle this, because it's not getting any better. It's getting a whole lot worse.
Runaway freight train.
And Jailer Elder is doing a great job of housing a lot of state inmates, and bringing as much money as he possibly can, but it's just still out of control. And like I told the judge, the discussions he's having and the answers he's getting are a lot of the same answers we got for many years about how we, when we talked about building the jail before, there just never was a good, you never get anybody to assure you of anything. So just, if you look back, you could have did this, it might have worked out. But right now, we just talk all the time about what to do, and he's going to the right people to get as many answers as he can get. So that's all we can do, get as much information as we get.
And when those people that are making those decisions say things like, it's our goal to have all the state prisoners out of county jails, that should send a shiver down the spine of every jail that's banking on them. And so, and it certainly wouldn't inspire me to lead, or I think I can speak for all of us, to jump off the side of that hill, not knowing where we're going with it, because we don't have any assurance of if we build a 200-head facility and they're counting on state inmates, and then 6 months into it they change those rules, then it's all I mean, we're stuck with it. I mean, we can't change with them. That's the problem. We're going to be stuck with that debt. And so debt service is an issue. Thankfully, Union County has a relatively low debt load. We're in good shape there. We don't have, we still have a large bonding capacity. We have the capability to move and do things and make things happen, but at the same time, we don't want to be careless with that. And so I continue to try to find answers, and this needs to be an open dialogue. This isn't something that we're trying to come up with all the solutions and answers and then throw it at everybody. I want people to understand, especially the court, that I am working on this project. And unfortunately, and I say this all the time, my biggest transition from farming is nothing moves fast in government. You know, and so it does take a while to get things done. So we continue to work towards that, and I'm always glad to tell you what I know. And so
When we do go to these conferences and these things, we do get an opportunity to talk to the same people that are going through. Some of them have built a jail, some of them have closed the jail, so you get all angles, you know. So we're trying to find out a bunch of information on how they handle it and how it went for them. So, like I said, it's definitely a slow process.
Like Magistrate Floyd said years ago, that we were facing these same issues, and back then they were saying we're going to get state prisoners out of the county jails. But what happened, they found out when they put the pencil to the paper, they could keep their state prisoners in county jails a lot cheaper, and they could go and build more prisons, and that was the most effective. So who knows? We didn't know back then what they're going to do, and as you tell now, they're still kicking that around, what we're going to do. And in like 6 months, maybe they'll know. Hopefully we'll have something definite and concrete.
well, one thing I'll add to that is, this is another one of those issues. The pension was one that it just keeps getting moved down and moved down, but eventually they get to be critical. And so there's a lot of jails that are literally bankrupting counties all over the state. And so whether the state comes in and bails them out, I'm not sure what that's going to be. I just would rather us not be in that position, that we're proactive trying to figure out what to do instead of just waiting for the state to come save us, because who knows if they've got that money. And, yeah, they're not in a position to save many people either. So I'll continue as this conversation develops, and as we move forward, I'll share that information. I want people to be aware of what we're doing. So now, Melissa, I told you I could ramble on for a while. Would you just give us an update on the Census 2020? What's going on, where you're at with that, please?
Yeah, sure. Love to. Do you want me to come up front or sit right here?
Yeah, come up front.
We got a microphone.
You knew that. You knew the answer to that.
Just hadn't started talking. So currently, we're just kind of mapping out the whole rest of the year and into the beginning of the next year, trying to figure out what events we could be present at, to get the information out to people that you need to fill out your census. Of course, Corn Festival is our next big event that we're having. We are wanting to have a presence in the parade. I think we may be a little short on manpower for that one. Everyone has kids going in different directions, and they too have commitments that they've already, signed up for, myself included. So the parade may be a little bit hard, but we are going to have a booth right here on the courthouse lawn. So I encourage everyone to come by and talk with us. We're going to be there Friday and Saturday. We're going to have information, banners, things to distribute as well. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We've had every meeting, we've had several people there. There's not been one meeting that we've looked at each other and wondered what to say or do. They've been very full. The entire hour was full of discussion, every meeting that we've had so far. So I just appreciate the volunteers coming and helping. Everyone that's on the committee, it's very much hands-on. There's several people involved, so.
Very good. Thank you. Anybody got any questions for Melissa?
I have no here to thank Melissa and the Census Committee, because it is a big deal. I mean, the conference we just attended, there was quite a few things talking about the census.
Yes.
How important it is to your county, how every citizen counts, and, one is a 1,000
Right.
$2,129 a year.
He's got it down pat. Yep.
Times 10.
Times 10, because it's a 10-year decision.
So they spend a lot of time at the conference on the census, and you sat in on them. So,
They had several sessions about it as well.
like she
Yeah.
said, the meetings have been very well attended, and they've been 1 hour. Like she told us they would be.
On the dot.
And it's been 4 hours.
Yep.
And I think the kids 5 and under are the most undercounted in the
That's correct.
census. So
Yes,
it's-
that's
So
correct.
we're listening, right?
Yes.
We're back there.
We could all work for the census by the time we're done, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
One thing, just to brag on Melissa and her team, I know she's very appreciative of the team. We started this back in June of last year, about July, and turned that over to Melissa, and she has run with it. And so the census folks from the state office that come brag on Melissa, I think she's going to get an invite to go to the grad regional Green River area to present on how she's done it. And so just wanted to give credit where it's due. So
Thank
you
you.
for what you're doing. I
Thank
said
you.
this before, and I'll say it again. I'm convinced that this is one of the most critical decisions that Union County will make. Because it goes for so long. And I'm at some of these judges' conference, and I see how some of those guys are not taking it seriously, and in fact are encourage some of their citizens to keep people out of their yards and driveways, and I'm like, you do that. That's not what we're gonna do here. We're gonna try to count everybody, and just to get it kind of puts us on a level playing field if we do that, so thank you.
I'm glad that you said that too, if you don't mind. There
Go ahead.
are census workers currently going and just double checking addresses. They're not knocking on doors, but you may see them walking with a laptop in their hand down your street. So that's who that is, and that's what they're doing. They started that, I believe, the middle of August and won't finish until the end of September. So if you see someone strange walking down your street with a laptop, that's probably what they're doing. But also good to know for everyone in the county, all census workers will have identification on them. So if you ever do wonder who it is walking down your street, you can always ask for ID, and they could give it to you immediately.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time this morning. All right, we'll do the roundtable. Magistrate Wyatt, District 1.
Yes, sir. Last Saturday at the Dog Pound, that was beyond awesome. Had a good turnout. I want to thank Richie and Kathy for an awesome job. All the volunteers that helped get that on. I want to thank Chief Milligan for bringing the firehouse down there as a big hit. Josh for bringing the Army truck down there, and everybody that helped on that. It was a blessing. Chief, you like to know this is still on the radar and get my. Okay.
It got sprayed last week, that's why we didn't do it yesterday.
Okay, all right. And I got one other thing. We've had several suicides here in the last month, and it's alarming. And I've been in contact with Lee Baird, Ricky, and Josh. We've talked about it. It's really getting bad. I think we're at 7 or 8. I think. Yeah. And so we just need to be in prayer for people. I mean, it's tough on the family. It's been tough on the first responders. And so I'd just like to ask prayers for everybody. That's
Good.
all I got, Judge.
All right, thank you. Jerry?
I was gonna bring up the Saturday at the Dog Pound too, the animal controls. But it was unbelievable, the people that showed up. It's Labor Day weekend for me, so I only got to stay 10 minutes, but I know a bunch of y'all stopped by. We want to appreciate all the rural house was awesome. I would like Josh, he took a big vehicle to, where'd you take it? Illinois?
Ridgeway, Illinois, Popcorn Days. Put in a parade over there. It was a big hit. We really liked it. Had a lady stop me. It was a real good way to represent Union County over there. That she says she was from the county. It was a good show.
It's definitely an impressive vehicle. We'd like to thank all those that attended the St. Agnes picnic. It was an unbelievable night. We try to get people in the county. We try to get things going on in the county, and it was just a wave of people. By far our biggest picnic ever. It was set up perfect, the weather and everything. Of course, we always had pretty good weather. Right, Joe? I know you all cursed with the rain.
That was better than pretty good weather.
It was perfect weather, everything was perfect, but we.
It's made to order.
We broke all our records, and we want to thank everybody who attended, showed up at that, and then also the after party at the VFW had their record night too, so it kinda, we talked about getting people here like tourists and stuff, and all this is full of events, and they fed off the picnic, which, you know, helped both organizations, so. So the big night, that's a lot of people in Uniontown, we had, it was, the whole town was full of cars, so. I know the road department sprayed a few days for us for the picnic, and as Mike said, we try to hit all those events with mosquito spraying and do the best we can, and try, we still get blamed for the mosquitoes, but, we try to get as many rid of the events we can, and I didn't hear anybody complaining about it, so we'll thank the road department for that. I think that's all I have, sir.
Okay, thank you, Jerry.
Couple of things. Last meeting, the road builders were in here. At that time, it started a resurfacing project on 109, about a 3-mile stretch. That's completed. That's one of the best resurfacing, in my opinion, one of the best resurfacing jobs that I've seen involved. It's smooth, and especially the transitions to the adjoining roads. You know, oftentimes you'll get, you know, it's a bump to get on and off, but I'm telling you, those transition points in all of the emerging roads were fabulous. So I wanted to give them credit, make note of that. They did a great job on it. Secondly, Moffett Lake, of course, we purchased kayaks and the pedal boats. I spoke with Cody yesterday, and that's going really well. He said, matter of fact, that he'd already, the revenue that they had received off of those rentals has already paid back the kayak cost, and hopefully soon he'll have those pedal boats paid off on that. So that's going really well. And along those same lines, you know, we've talked about a tractor, maybe person a tractor out there with a bucket and a backhoe attachment. I'm going to try to bring that up sometime in October,
Okay.
meeting, and we need to address that. If we're going to do it, we need to move on it so they'll have it to get sites ready for while they're dead period, get some sites ready and additional camping areas out there. So I'll be speaking with them in October.
Just as a matter of maybe looking into, I've had some requests that maybe we might think about a few more cabins. I know the wrestlers could use them if when they're there twice a year. They've got an October deal coming up, but if could maybe gather some information about that and see what we could, if that's feasible, if something think we can make work. Talk to Cody about.
That maybe come up in our 5-year plans about, you know, because they're all, most of the time they're booked up, especially certain times of the year. We need maybe even a couple of nicer family oriented, maybe, not saying they're not nice, it's just yours.
Appreciate that. One thing I'll add about that, at DLG I ran into Commissioner of Fish and Wildlife, Commissioner Storm, and asked if we could get some free fishing dates for when the wrestlers were coming, and he's like, absolutely. So they'll be able to advertise that. That's one of the big draws, that they like to come out and fish, but it's tough to fish Moffett's because all those kids are out of state and don't have a license. So we'll have entire free week for them to be able to do that, and we can do that for this October as well. So they were very accommodating. So we get that done. Thank you, Jim. Master Burns.
I want to echo what Jim said. I also kept up with Cody. I've been out there.
Mm-hmm.
I have an uncle who got displaced for a few days. He lives in Charleston, and so his home got a little rain and damage, and he came and spent a week out there at Moffitt's Lake. I talked to him and I said, we got a nice campground, and going to come and stay here. He was going to go to the Hillman's Ferry and Lake, and I talked him out of it. So, but anyway, Cody's helped him a lot. My uncle's 89 years old, not real strong, got cancer, you know, and he's not doing real good, but anyway, he's making it. But Cody helped him a lot. I'd like to thank Cody for doing that. Also, Cody said that on the kayaks and the boats that he's having a sellout almost every weekend, you know, and there's no more there for anybody to get. So there's a lot of people want them, but there's not. Maybe so next year, maybe we could buy a couple more.
Okay.
And extend that. And on another note, I took my uncle out to the museum. You know, I've been out there I don't know how many times. I looked at those paintings. that girl gave us a walking tour through there and a history on there, which I've never done, and she is really good. She knows a lot about what's going on in that museum and what happened, and I'd like to thank her.
Amber Weatherby.
Amber, yes,
Yeah,
she's
she's
really
good.
Really good, but, that's all I've got.
Okay. Master Clemens?
Mike, I want to thank you and the road department for the mowing you've gotten done in District 5. Appreciate that. And looks good what they've done so far. Appreciate that. Going back what Adam brought up about the sewer, the project, about the grant, if we get it, will that be an interest-free grant or?
Yeah, it's a grant, not a loan, so it's,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, it's not a matching grant or anything, it's be a.
Well, there is some matching, but we're using some DRA and CDGB grants and some other stuff, not from the county.
Okay. On that, I know you said the Job Corps, but how will that affect Whispering Meadows? I know they've got a lot of broken lines out there, a lot of sinkholes.
I think that's probably phase 2, that they're gonna, go through to, but I think, my understanding is that's all included in their, repair part.
Okay, so that'll pick their area up too. Okay, thank you. Still concerned on Highway 60, that little, dog leg they've put in there. Road builders said the state did it, state says, but regardless of who did it, unless they've taken that out in the last day or two, I hadn't driven it. I'm concerned about that when they're gonna straighten that up. I'm kind of mystified why they're leaving that in there. It's dangerous, especially at night, because you zig and zag there. So I didn't know whether they'd ever mentioned to you if,
Yeah, I reported at the last meeting that Denitra, our District 2 engineer, assures me that will be straightened out. And I have not heard anything different that would require me to think that's different. They just haven't started raising that part yet. When the raising starts, that will be straightened out. So
okay.
again,
Good.
that's
Good.
straight.
I don't, okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
One thing I want to add, for the magistrates, where Mike has turned in all of the requests on our flex funds. We're just waiting on that to get back to us so we can get started and all of this get rolling pretty quick. So hope.
Have they been down any to look at them?
Yeah, I went through with Nick.
Yeah, Nick has been here, so that's the first hurdle, and then it goes to the state and then comes back to us to go. So that's what we're trying to do, and Mike's riding herd on that, and I appreciate it. So
The state has to approve them.
yes, but that's kind of a foregone conclusion. I think once Nick does that, I don't think we would anticipate any holdups there, but the state does have to approve those as well.
Okay, they wanted you to lengthen some of them, didn't they, Mike?
They want us to get away from short patches because it costs too much money and we lose too much money moving from short patch to short patch. So they want us to think longer term to let's work on this one road this year and not 4 roads, particularly maybe in a district. I shouldn't say one road in the county, but maybe one road per district to try to
Like the transition to is, kind of breaks up, snow plows, everything else.
Yeah.
The more you have them, it's just.
Yeah, and so they're going to, they've been trying to get that point across for a couple of years, and they're getting tighter on that, and so that's going to get where they're going to take more of that out of our hands. We're going to have to make sure that we're putting those long stretches in, not several shorts, because it just requires too much time, and we lose too much money doing it, the transitions, and what you.
We have looked at problem areas, right? I mean, you try to get as many problem areas, so that's where you come with some of the shorter patches. But the last, like, 20 years, I've been trying to do quite a long patches and finish the road. But early on, I did a lot of shorter patches to try to get more problem areas fixed.
He surprised me. He said a short patch would be 1,500 foot.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So they're moving, kind of moving the target on
You
it.
see this bad area for 800 feet, and then, you know, there's another bad area up here, but you don't want to like top over the good area, but they want to do the whole thing to the next bad area.
And what you spoke about, the transitions,
And I get that.
they are really aware
I've got away with that.
because the plows just tear them up. So, and it's
And the
really,
cars too, just keep
yeah,
driving
it's tough on them.
down.
Mike, he didn't give you a minimum on the length though, did he?
1,500 feet.
Oh, okay, so it has to be at least 1,500
Well,
feet.
he didn't say it's no permanent, but
Okay.
coming across it.
You men be safe. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you'd say it needs to be at least 1,500 feet then. Okay.
I want to be clear. Mike's not saying they need to be 1,500. The
Yeah, but-
state people that are approving
Right,
us
I
are
understand that.
1,500.
Yes, I understand
Okay,
that.
all right. Any further,
Very clear.
anybody else? Entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All those in favor say aye. We're adjourned. Motion carried. Thank you.